pick a genre, what's your favorite genre of music?
There's no favorite genre. As I told you, I have special affinity towards Indian music because I was born there. But
for example, you've called the synthesizer your favorite instrument because it's the perfect blend.
It changes from time to time. Because I'm 18 years in the being composing, and finally it comes to the vocal. Because the vocal doesn't need anything. You don't need any instrument. It's just you and
find the greatest connection is made with
the voice.
vocal.
Yeah, it's God-given instrument, I would say. And of course, any instrument player who connects his soul to his instrument is great, and that instrument becomes great. It's not the instrument itself is ordinary, but the people who play it makes it special.
You know, one of the big controversies here in this country is music is not really part of the educational system as strongly as it could be. Sometimes when we have budget cuts, we always take away the music. I wanted to ask you, how important was music in your life growing up as a child, and what would you say to the educational system here and abroad in many countries for how important music is as a foundation?
At least you have teachers here to teach Western classical. We don't even have that in India. And I've got a school called KM Conservatory teaching kids Western classical, Indian classical. So we get teachers from the US and the UK and Europe and all this stuff.
And as a matter of fact, you're also quite involved in charity work. I've been reading a little bit about you.
Nothing much, nothing significant yet. But we are aspiring to have a foundation called the Rahman Foundation, and we aspire to do a lot of things, mainly in education.
What has been the most memorable occasion in your life? And I'm sure that being on the Oscar stage was a breathtaking moment, but was that the most significant moment? Is there one moment that you remember where your life really fundamentally changed?
There are a lot of moments actually. My first movie, and then when I did Mathu Jai Salam, then when I did Bombay Dreams, then I did Lord of the Rings in West End, Bombay Dreams in Broadway, then of course Slumdog Millionaire and all the Oscars and Grammys and all this stuff. And now this tour is again very important. It's one of the most adventurous for all of us.
And the tour actually will take you all over the United States.
Yeah.
So one of the questions I have for you is, you have become a global sensation. And so you must spend a lot of time outside of India now, meeting a lot of different artists and doing collaborative projects, even with Hollywood and those types of things. Do you miss being on the Indian Bollywood front and exercising some of your creativity in the homeland?
I do stuff there, whichever is which I feel right to do. I do those films, but I don't have time for other films, which is not as challenging, I would say, or the team is not as interesting. So now I have a choice. I can choice, and I have a power to say no. And I can sit back at home, do my own thing, or I can just sit at the school and watch the students play music. So different choices now.
In fact, what would you say to the many kids out there for whom you are a source of inspiration, because you have literally defined a new genre, and now many of them see that genre as something they can embrace and move forward with? What would be your message to that community of kids?
I think I'm not an advisor, very good advisor. They want to learn something from my life. Of course, they could good things, but me, I'm still a learner, and I'm absorbing from life, and each day is a different day for me, and it is challenging to.
Well, you will be forever credited with evolving music out of India, and certainly being the ambassador for it all over the world.
Thank you.
Where do you think Indian music will go 10 years from now? I
don't know. I'm not a soothsayer. But if people are creative and people want to contribute, if they take leadership in having an extraordinary vision for music, it could go somewhere else, because our people are so, back in India, so creative. But they need to be original, and they need to be probably not compromise, and be careful that they have to fight mediocrity and excel, I guess.
And where do you see yourself going from here? You've accomplished so much in your life.
I see myself going to New York for the show next.
You've got a very tough schedule, I know, with traveling. So I really thank you for the opportunity to talk with you today and for the conversation. I know our audience is just thrilled to see you in concert. We have been waiting for it, and I'm sure it's going to be a sensational show. Thank you so much for joining us on our show.